Tosin's hands trembled as she stood before Fola. The air in the room felt heavy, like something unseen was pressing down on her chest. "You should not have come here," Fola said, her voice smooth but deadly. Mama Tosin's eyes darted around the room, searching for a way out, but the door was locked. 2 guards stood behind her, their arms folded. She was trapped. "Where are my daughter's children?" Mama Tosin demanded. Fola chuckled, shaking her head. "You ask too many questions, old woman." She turned to a wooden shelf and picked up a small black calabash. She traced her fingers over it, whispering words under her breath. Mama Tosin's body tensed. Something felt wrong. Fola looked into her eyes and smiled. "It is too late for you." Then she called Mama Tosin's name. Once, twice, 7 times. A sharp wind blew through the room. The lanterns flickered. The air became colder. Mama Tosin opened her mouth to scream, but no sound came out. She clutched her throat, her eyes wide with horror. She tried again, but her voice was gone. She was dumb. Fola took a slow step forward and leaned in. "Now, you cannot tell anyone what you saw," she whispered. Tears rolled down Mama Tosin's face as she fell to her knees. "Take her away," Fola said, waving her hand. The guards grabbed Mama Tosin and dragged her out of the house. They pushed her into the dark streets, leaving her in the cold night. The next morning, the news spread like wildfire. Mama Tosin cannot talk. She must have offended someone powerful. Maybe she spoke where she should have kept quiet. Fear gripped the women in Fola's house. No one dared to ask questions anymore. Tosin sat on her bed, her body shaking. Her mother had tried to save her, but now she had lost her voice. And if Tosin was not careful, she would be next. Tosin could not close her eyes that night. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Her mother was somewhere outside, suffering, alone, helpless. Tosin covered her mouth as tears ran down her face. She thought of the babies she had carried, the ones that were taken from her. She thought of Fola's wealth, built on the pain of young women. She thought of the other girls in the house, all trapped in the same evil cycle. A cold fear spread through her chest. "What do I do?" she whispered. If she spoke, she could end up like her mother, or worse. The police would not believe her. Fola had powerful connections. Even if she escaped, where would she go? Tosin closed her eyes tightly, breathing hard. She had to be careful. She had to be smart. And most of all, she had to be brave. But bravery had a price. Was she ready to pay it? The sun had just started to rise when Tosin wrapped a big scarf around her head and put on dark glasses. Her hands trembled as she stepped out of the house. If Fola or any of the guards saw her, she would be in trouble. She walked quickly, her heart beating fast. She took different roads, making sure no one followed her. After walking for a long time, she reached an old part of the city. There, under a big tree, sat an old herbalist. His white beard was long, and his eyes looked deep, like he could see inside her heart. Tosin took a deep breath and stepped closer. "Baba, I need help," she whispered. The old man looked at her for a moment. Then he nodded. "What do you seek?" "My child." Tosin swallowed hard. "My mother cannot talk. She offended a powerful woman." The herbalist's face did not change. He picked up a small stick and began drawing on the ground. "The woman used dark charms," he said. "Your mother's voice is locked in the spirit world." Tosin felt cold all over. "Locked?" The old man nodded. "Yes, it was taken away and hidden where no one can reach." Tosin clenched her fist. "Can she be free?" The herbalist sighed. He looked up at the sky, then back at her. "Only someone stronger than Fola can break it." Tosin frowned. "Who is stronger than Fola?" The old man smiled. For the first time, God. Tosin stared at him, confused. God? She had not prayed in years. She had done so many wrong things. Could God really help? She left the herbalist place, her mind full of questions. That night, Tosin could not stop thinking about what the herbalist had said. She sat on her bed, staring at the wall. Then for the first time in a long time, she bent her head and whispered, God, if you are real, help me, help my mother, show me what to do. She closed her eyes and fell asleep. Then she had a dream. In the dream, she was standing in a dark place. She could not see anything, only shadows moving around her. She was afraid. Then, suddenly, a bright light appeared. A man dressed in white stepped out of the light. His face was kind and his voice was calm. He stretched his hand toward her. Come, he said. Tosin hesitated, but something inside her told her to trust him. She reached out and took his hand. The moment she touched him, the darkness around her disappeared. She found herself standing in front of a house filled with light. Then she woke up. Her heart was beating fast. She sat up and held her chest. What does this dream mean? Then she remembered what the herbalist had said. Only God can break Fola's powers. She took a deep breath. For the first time in 10 years, Tosin decided to go to church. Tosin stood outside the church gate, her hands shaking. It had been 10 years. Would they remember her? Would they accept her? She took a deep breath and stepped inside. The moment she entered, people turned to look at her. Some gasped, some whispered, "Is that not Tosin? Where has she been? She disappeared long ago." Tosin lowered her head. She felt ashamed, but she kept walking. Tears filled her eyes as she looked around. She had left this place when she was young and full of dreams. Now she was broken and lost. Then the pastor walked towards her with a warm smile. "My daughter, you are welcome," he said. Tosin could not hold back her emotions. She fell to her knees and wept. For the first time in many years, she felt peace. But deep inside, she knew the battle was not over. Fola would not let her go easily. After the service, Tosin sat in the pastor's office. He listened carefully as she told him everything. She spoke about Fola, the missing babies, her mother's strange condition. When she finished, the pastor sighed deeply. "Fola is using dark powers," he said, "but do not be afraid. There is a way out." Tosin sat forward. "What do I do?" "Pastor, you must pray and fast for 7 days," he said, "and you must not tell anyone." Tosin's heart pounded. 7 days. She had never prayed like that before, but she was ready. She had no other choice. She wiped her eyes and nodded. "I will do it." Tosin sat on her bed, her hands clasped together. She had not eaten since the fasting began. She had not spoken much either. She spent her nights praying, asking God to free her and her mother. By the 3rd day, Fola began to notice. She sat in her grand living room, sipping a glass of wine. One of the guards walked in. "Madam, there is something strange about Tosin." Fola's eyes darkened. "Strange? What do you mean?" The guard shifted uneasily. "She does not eat much. She does not talk to anyone. She stays in her room all day." Fola frowned. Tosin was changing. She knew what that meant. "Watch her closely," Fola said. Her voice was cold. The guard bowed and left. Fola leaned back in her chair. Something was happening and she would find out soon. Mama Tosin sat outside her small house, staring at the sky. She had not spoken in days. People came to check on her, but she only nodded or shook her head. She wanted to talk. She wanted to scream, but no words came out. Then on the 4th day, something strange happened. A warm feeling spread through her throat. She blinked in surprise. She opened her mouth and tried to whisper. Nothing. She tried again, still nothing, but deep inside, something was changing. She could feel it. A tear rolled down her cheek. Was the darkness losing its grip? On the seventh day, Tosin was in her room when she heard a knock. Before she could answer, the door opened. Two guards stepped in. "Madam wants to see you," one of them said. Tosin's hand felt cold, but she nodded and followed them. Fola was sitting on her golden chair, her long nails tapping against the armrest. She looked up and smiled. "You have been acting strange, Tosin." Tosin's heart pounded. "Me?" she said, forcing a laugh. "I don't understand, ma." Fola leaned forward. "Are you hiding something from me?" Tosin felt sweat on her back. She had to be careful. "No, ma," she lied, keeping her voice steady. Fola watched her closely. Her eyes were sharp, like a hawk. Then she smiled. "If I find out you are planning anything, you will regret it." Tosin forced a smile. "I will never betray you." Fola nodded slowly. "Good. Now go." Tosin turned and walked out. Her hands were shaking. Fola was suspicious. She had to be careful. She had to move fast. That night, Mama Tosin lay on her mat, staring at the ceiling. Her heart was heavy. Would she ever speak again? Would she ever hold her daughter? She closed her eyes and drifted into sleep. Then she had a dream. She saw Tosin standing in a dark place, holding a bright light. A voice whispered, "Your daughter is fighting for you." Mama Tosin's eyes flew open. Her throat felt warm, like fire was passing through it. She touched her lips. She tried to speak. A weak sound came out. She tried again. Her voice was low, but clear. "Tosin." Her eyes filled with tears. She covered her mouth. She could talk. "God is helping me," she whispered. For the first time in days, hope filled her heart. Something was about to change.